Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my tips and recommendations as far as running a small YouTube channel. Give you some resources, some free ones, some cheap recommendations as far as equipment and resources go. I got a lot of great stuff I'd like to share, so let's get ready to jump in. Welcome once again, my name is Austin, and on this channel we talk about one of my favorite things in the world, movies, and how I tie together my faith with film and everything that's in between. But in this video, we're not talking about that at all. We're just going to be talking about YouTube and how I run my small channel, what equipment I use, some recommendations as far as tools and resources go. This would be applicable whether you're getting ready to start a YouTube channel, you're thinking about it, or maybe you have one, you're still smaller in size, and I just want to promote a lot of the different stuff that's out there that you can take advantage of. Starting things off, whenever anyone is getting ready to start off a YouTube channel, they think about equipment. They think, I got to get this fancy microphone, I got to get a big old nice mirrorless $800 camera, I got to get studio lights, all that kind of stuff. But you don't need that to get started. That stuff really, if you're not comfortable on camera, is probably going to be more intimidating than helpful. Seeing these studio lights on you, a big old camera, a big microphone in your face. For me at least, it would be intimidating. It took me a while to get comfortable on camera. So as far as when I started, I did use my wife's nice camera. She had a nice Sony, I think A1 or something like that. So that was a nice camera, and I just propped it up on books. I didn't even have a tripod, and just sat on my couch in my living room and started recording videos. Now, eventually, after not too long, I was able to start borrowing some equipment from the job that I worked at. So I had some softbox lights, a tripod to keep the camera on, that kind of thing. And that just helped, up the quality of my videos a little bit more. So I would borrow that equipment once a week, bring it home, record a video, bring the equipment back the next day, and do the same thing week after week. So that worked for me to get me started. But like I said, you don't need that equipment to get started. Just use your phone. Actually, I use my phone now. I have an iPhone 14 Pro, so I shoot my videos in 4K in the cinematic mode, which makes it look kind of like a nice mirrorless camera. And I'm pretty happy with how the picture comes out. Now, if you are looking to get some equipment, I do have some cheap recommendations for you. Now, this will be regarding using your phone, because that's what I do use for my videos. I got this nice $16 tripod that holds my phone on here. It gets up to like 5 feet tall, so it's nice if you ever need to do stand-up videos. I'm a pretty tall guy, over 6 feet tall. And then if you do want to get some lights, there's definitely a good variety of stuff to choose from. Like I said, I started with 2 softbox lights that I borrowed from the company I was working at. Those will run you anywhere from $50 to $100 for a halfway decent set of those. But if you're looking to save even more money, get yourself a ring light. Those are only like 25 bucks on Amazon. And then if you do want to jump into the microphone game, which I only just did in the past couple of months, get yourself one of the Blue Ice Snowball microphones. Those are only like 50 bucks. So if you do that right, you get the $50 microphone, a $16 tripod, and a $25 ring light. You are ready to go with your phone for less than $100. Now, though that's all out there, you don't have to get it all at once. Do it over time. Like I said, I started with a camera on books in my living room on my couch, and then I got some equipment I borrowed. I started buying my own stuff, so now I have a little bit of a nicer light now. I have the Blue Ice Snowball microphone, the decent tripod that I picked up, and I'm pretty happy with where the quality of my videos are at this point. I don't want to have necessarily all the big expensive equipment. I mean, for me, it's not worth spending all that money on stuff for that. I just do this for fun as a hobby. I make a tiny bit of money on the side, but it's not why I do this. So there's lots of different options out there as far as equipment goes. You can do the free option of just using your phone, propping it up. Like I said, get some good natural light, or even just the good lighting that's in your home. iPhone does a good job of it. Android does a good job of just making that natural light from the room or the outdoors look pretty good. So now you have your equipment, if any, that you're going to use. Next, you need to plan and create your videos. For me personally, I have a notepad that I have on my phone that is specifically for video ideas. I write down every idea I have, whether it's good or bad. You never know. You just kind of sit on it for a little while, brainstorm, go back to your list once in a while, think about it a little more. Maybe not every idea turns into a video, but at least it's there as something for you to think about. I also created a Google Calendar for my YouTube channel that's just called YouTube. That way it doesn't interfere with my personal calendar. And in that, I just put the videos that I'm putting up each week. Now, sometimes I use it more, sometimes I use it less, but it's nice to have that kind of overall snapshot when I do go and plan out maybe a month or 2 months of videos at a time, just to be able to pull up my calendar and see, okay, this video is going up this day, then this day, then this day. So it kind of helps you keep your schedule a little bit more, have an idea of what's coming down the path. And for me, it's a bit of a way of accountability too, of if I see, okay, I'm getting towards the end of what I have scheduled out, got to start putting together some more ideas. Next, when it comes to planning and creating videos, one of the most important steps is research. The best research you can do when it comes to making YouTube content is watching other YouTube videos. Now, don't just watch it to watch it. You can do that, and I do that more times than I do research for YouTube, but just watching videos inside of your niche, or even sometimes outside of your niche, just to get an idea of what other content creators are doing, how they're making their videos, or if it is within your niche, what they're talking about. As you know, for me, I talk about movies from a Christian perspective. So I follow a lot of different movie channels, some collector channels, some video analysis, movie breakdowns, all that kind of stuff. I watch those videos and reviews and get inspiration from them. Maybe they talk about a movie that I really like. I want to share my opinion on it. So I'm going to do a review on this movie or that movie. So it's a great way to look for inspiration, whether it's a top 10 list, a ranking video, a review of some kind, an unboxing. All of that stuff can fit into a lot of different niches and different types of channels. All right, so we have our equipment, we did our planning and our idea, we recorded our video. Now it's time for the editing process. Now, for me personally, editing's not my favorite part. Sometimes I enjoy it more than others, but some people love editing their videos. For me, it's a little bit of a tedious thing just because that's the most time-consuming part of making the videos. Now, I am someone who's inside of the Apple ecosystem, so all the stuff that I use is on Apple. So some of the stuff, if you use Android, you might have to kind of branch out a little bit more. I can't give a ton of recommendations just because I'm not in that space as much. But for me personally, if you have a Mac or any kind of Apple device, really, you get access to iMovie for free. I used iMovie for the first 2 or 3 years, maybe longer, of doing my YouTube channel content, and it worked really well for me. It was easy to use, made editing pretty quick, and I was able to put my videos together in ways that I was really happy with. Now, if you have an iPhone or an iPad, which I use an iPad to edit my videos, there's an app called LumaFusion from the company LumaTouch, and I highly recommend this one. It looks a lot like iMovie, but it has a lot more of options and features. Now, there's way more in this app than I ever use on my channel, but when I switched from using a MacBook down to an iPad, I needed something that was more mobile friendly because iMovie on mobile really isn't that great in my opinion, at least for what I'm doing for my videos. It's very limited as far as features go when it makes it mobile friendly, but LumaFusion is an app that's really great. I really love it. It's like $30, and when you buy it, you get it on all of your mobile devices for Apple. And then there is a Mac version of it, but I've not personally used it, so I can't give any recommendation one way or another on how good it is. But I would think if it's anywhere near what they do on the mobile devices, I'm sure it's a great editing software. So you have your equipment, you picked your idea, you recorded your video, you edited your video. It's time for the upload and the final touches. Every video needs a thumbnail. I personally use and highly recommend using Canva. It's a free tool that you can use to make all kinds of different graphics and stuff. I use it just to make my thumbnails mostly, but I really like the tool, the different resources and assets that it has within it. It's web-based, but you can also download an application. So if you have a computer, you can go to canva.com. If you have a mobile device that you're using to make your videos, you can go ahead and download the Canva app. And like I said, it's completely free. You can just create an account. You can upload videos and photos to it to use, and then you can use all of their resources and assets that they have within the software. Now, there is a paid membership tier. I believe it's $12.99 a month, where you get full access to their assets, so a lot of their nicer graphics and images that they have in their database. And then you also get more features and stuff, like you can download with transparent backgrounds. You can change the dimensions of your photos and images, that kind of thing. So you get a little more for it, but you do have to pay for it. But for what you get for the free version of it, it's really great too, and I've been using it for longer than I've making YouTube videos. If you do want to just try out that paid version, there is a 2-week free trial. I'm actually using it and in the middle of it right now because I'm working on putting together a merch store for my channel. So I'm using it to make transparent graphics. That way I can have nice, cool t-shirts and logos and all that kind of stuff. So it's been fun playing around with the paid version. But for me personally, it's not like I'm making money on YouTube that can like pay for that service. So I'd rather not pay for that regularly. I'll just hop on it once in a while when I need it. But most of the time I'm going to stick with the free version of it. But it's still a really great tool. And there's a lot of other stuff out there, but I recommend and use Canva. And now just some kind of miscellaneous random tips and recommendations I wanted to give. Make sure everything is formatted properly when you're exporting and uploading your YouTube video from your editing software. At least upload it to 1080p. I started using 4K when I got this new iPhone last year. So I personally use the 4K upload, but 1080p should be kind of like your minimum as far as the quality goes when you export it. When you're doing your thumbnails, if you're using Canva, like I said, make sure you're making those in 1920 by 1080. And when you download them, download the JPEG because you need a small image file size in order to upload it to YouTube as a thumbnail. They can't handle too high quality of an image because it's just a thumbnail. It doesn't need to be, you know, this super blown up 4K high res image. So just make sure it's 1920 by 1080 and it's in JPEG format. When you download it, they make that pretty easy as far as it all goes, but I do want to point that out. Continuing with thumbnails, make sure your text is large and clear, your images are clear. There is a video time that's going to be located in the bottom right hand side of all of your videos when people are scrolling through either your channel page or just their news feed. So make sure that time stamp for how long your video is doesn't interfere or cut off some text or part of the image that's important to the thumbnail. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're designing your thumbnails. Scheduling wise, I still recommend uploading on a consistent schedule. Now, it doesn't have to be consistent like every day. That's a lot, and even I don't do that. Even if it's just once a month, if you're going to put out a high quality, engaging, valuable video for your audience, once a month is fine. I personally held myself accountable to doing once a week, and I've stuck to that for 4 to 5 years now, with the odd week here or there based on life interference, because life just happens sometimes. But for the most part, I have uploaded a video once a week for the past 4 or 5 years straight. And then just recently in the past couple months, I added doing twice a week, most weeks, but not every week. So whatever you pick that works for you, upload on a consistent schedule. That way kind of helps your channel work for the algorithm. People come to learn when to expect your videos to be uploaded and posted, that kind of thing. And then as far as the analytics go, I don't get too deep into the analytics because, like I said, I'm not looking to grow this to a 100,000 subscriber channel. I just do this for fun, and it is what it is. I like that it grows and videos get a lot of views, but that's not like what I write home about. One of the few analytics I think that is important to keep an eye on is your audience analytics and when they're online. After you've uploaded for a little while and you get a little bit of traction on it, people start watching your videos more, YouTube will start giving you an analytic for when your subscribers are on the YouTube app. Maybe not just watching your content, but when they're on YouTube and on the app or the website. And so based on those peak times, that might be a good time to upload your video around. If, for me personally, most of my subscribers are on YouTube Saturday mornings. So my weekly upload at the very least is a Saturday morning video. And then besides that, another peak day is a Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning. So I tend to do my second upload of the week on Tuesday or Wednesday morning, depending on my schedule for the week. So like I said, you don't have to get too into the weeds, especially on a smaller channel. If you're just looking to do it for fun, learn how everything works. You don't have to look at every single one of the YouTube analytics because it can be very overwhelming. But the one that I think is important to look at is ones to do with your audience, because that's your audience and you want to put out the best content you can for them on a schedule that works for you and for them. Now, those are just some of the tips and recommendations I have off the top of my head that I wrote down. I would love to hear if you're a small channel as well, or even if you're a larger channel. Go ahead and put those recommendations in the comments below for people who are checking out this video. Like I said, if they're looking to get started on a channel, or like me, they're a smaller channel and just looking to improve their content, whether it's the quality of their topics and discussions or the equipment itself. So I did my best to share what I use as far as equipment and resources resources and tools to make the best videos that I can for my channel. I hope it's been a help for you and you got to learn something and get something out of it that you can apply to your own channel. So thank you for sticking around with me to the end of this one. I will see you back to a normal video in the next one.